Hi. So, today's Wednesday. I wonder what I got. Yeah, okay. So that is actually more than I was expecting. So, thank goodness for that. Literally, April Fool's Day, I had me, Stitch, and Goofy. And I happened to have part of that parade day thing in the background. So that's more than I was expecting. Um, I was expecting like 300. But apparently people like Stitch and Goofy, so. Thank you for playing the April Fool's Day challenge and sharing your creativity with other Disney Dreamlight Valley players. You scored 57.12 and ranked 41,350. 305. Sorry. You can claim 1,200 moonstones and will receive 158 pixel dust. Pretty cool, huh? I still say it would be pretty cool if we could figure out what the pixel dust is for. Oh, the star path is ending soon. I'm done with it, but... Okay. Oh, let's figure out what today's Dreamsnap is. Okay, Hoppy Days. It's the Valley's annual extravaganza. The egg hunt is on and fashion is blooming. Dress in a fun, bright outfit that celebrates the season. What? We don't really have pastel colors. Storybookville. It's supposed to look like this. Well, two of the things on my outfit do not count. Oh, what tags do we need? That's not gonna help me find out. There we go. Lavish, playful, traditional wonders. Okay. Okay. The oh, um the skirt I'm wearing counts. Um ah, Okay, so the purple goes better with the yeah, and that counts. I'll have to see if that's one that's too dark or if it's okay. Well, technically, it said pick an outfit that fits the season. Okay, I think everything on me, except for that jacket. Well, so far the shoes that I'm wearing do not count. I think they should have some kind of tag in there. Excuse me. Can I wear those? Awesome. That's the problem. I like the shoes I'm wearing. I mean, if I have to change them. Oh, I forgot to pay attention to coats that were going by. Ah, there we go. Okay. See, I think for this one, we ought to have a Easter egg in the, I mean, you know, an egg that you found in the ground, in the picture. That's kind of a must-have. I don't think I could take the picture with the, yeah, okay. No, what I was trying to say is I don't think I could take a picture with those, bunnies that, with the bunnies that Wally has us chase around. Too dark. I was kind of thinking the other one was too dark, so... You're supposed to be showing off your... It's great for our area of the world, but I don't think people are going to be expecting that. Yeah, but dresses don't have high tags. No, again, that's too dark. Okay, I'm thinking that they want you to stay off the menus because they keep making stuff as annoying as humanly possible. With the noises. Of course, I only notice it when I'm on headset, so... But it is a bad. Ooh, pink cropped. Too bad we don't got purple cropped, because that would go with the outfit. Yep, too bad we don't got purple cropped. Okay. No, it's something in the room. I didn't hear it until... I didn't hear it until I was trying to change my outfit, but... Well, that's good to know that when you get a prize, you cannot feed it to the owl. But who would want to? Hmm. Okay, now we gotta find a great spot. I forgot something. Um... It said bright colors. Excuse me? Thank you. First we're gonna go shopping. Then we're gonna go get that porcini mushroom that I need.
Oh, it's nice to have a quiet morning to yourself. I wonder what today will bring.
Oh, there it is. Hi, folks. Well, that's it. That's my set next. Coming out. You were great. And, well, tell your friends.
I don't know where we want to take this picture, though. I am drawing a blank. Well, I guess in the plaza. Ooh, or in that spot that I just took my other one.
My magic can feel how special this place is.
Yeah, the one that I just took, last week. Ooh. That sounds like a good idea. Of course, it only sounds like a good idea because it's got all that spring kind of stuff. And it wouldn't be a stream without getting interrupted by somebody trying to call me. Hello? Well, usually I give them 10 seconds to respond. I gave them 11. Wasn't important, apparently. So, I am pretty happy. I got another chapter done. So, I'm up to chapter 35. I don't know why it's taking me so long, because this is like the spot that I wanted to do. You know, it's the important part. I mean, they're all important parts, but, you know, turning my book into an audio. This is like the most important part. Okay, so you know how like when you need that one more of something and then you can never find it? Yeah, that's this porcini mushroom. There's one! Yay! Now, do I need to get more? Yep. I was so happy that I would be done with that one. No. Okay. Okay, so I can get a topiary that looks pretty cool. And would probably go with this week's Dreamsnap. Or I could get this. Ew, wait a minute. Or I could wait and get either this or this. Because I think if we get the blue chest every day, we can afford that, but I don't know. Wait, okay, so I've got $14.60 right now, so if I got the blue chest, today, then that's 1510. 1560 tomorrow. 2 days after that would be 1660. No, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. I mean, I could, but I don't know. Oh. So does that mean we get another fish thing? Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. That's something I keep not getting because I can't afford it. I think I'm gonna get this. You know, that's not fair though, because there's a bunch of people out there that are like, if you don't have this kind of stuff in your shot, they're not gonna vote for you. Or if you have this stuff in your shot, they're not gonna vote for you. So. Hmm. That's not what I needed. Sorry, driving myself crazy. Oh, 9629. Yeah, let's submit it. I'm kind of busy today, so. Actually, I'm really busy today. Yeah. Oh. That's weird. I specifically remember being up there, but with the arches. Oh, he ran away from us. So, yeah. Okay, let's... Decorate your valley with vibrant blooms and springtime elements to celebrate the season. Neither? people not understand the assignment? And that wasn't because of the rainbows. Well... And what if somebody, like, doesn't... You know, what if somebody doesn't really understand spring, or what if they've got like hay fever and they can't experience spring? So, but either way, neither one. Okay, now we got 510. Where did my rabbit go? I don't know. My rabbit disappeared. Oh. I mean, at least I could have done was have, you know, like the rabbit chasing the snippets or something. All stuff I already had. Not sure about the shoes, but pretty sure. Okay, wait. Apples for the squirrels. Those are sunbirds, ravens, rabbits, crocodiles, turtles, raccoons, foxes, monkeys, cobras, capybaras. Okay, so there's gotta be something in here. Salad. We need salad. Oh, I was having the, make a whole bunch of salad. Okay, because the rabbit is so tiny. You know, he's so tiny, and I feel like I'm... You know, I feel like I would have been dragging him around. You know, taking him around too much and making him really super tired. And I would have felt bad because he was, you know, really super tired, and he's gonna be complaining in his little rabbit voice, "Mom, can we go home?" And I'll be going, "No, we gotta do this," and you know, he's gonna be crying. So yeah, I got a weird imagination. But I'm really happy because, like I said, I'm done with chapter 34. There's 52 chapters. So, yeah, it seems like I'm so far away, but they've got to be short chapters because there's only about 100 pages left. 99 pages left, I think it was. You know, so they gotta be short chapters, except for the next one. It's just 12 pages. So it's making me want to go, ugh, you know, and not do it, but I'm gonna. Because once I get done, I'll have that, you know, satisfying feeling of, it's done! Yay! You know? Hmm? Mm-mm. Oh, okay. So, we don't know why, but sometimes vehicles on, sometimes the vehicles on farm, which farm sim is that? 25. So, sometimes the vehicles on any farm sim game, but, you know, farm simulator, you know, whether it be 2018, 19, 20, whatever, it's 25 right now, but, anyway, you know, for some reason, the vehicles glitch. So, like, I mean, if you put too many things on the trailer, you know, sometimes the truck goes up. You know, those kind of things. But, the glitch that he was having just now made no sense. All 4 tires were not on the ground. He's thinking it's the warehouse mod, just in case the person that made that mod is watching my stream, which would be totally cool. It says where one person is watching my stream, and I don't know if we count as one person, because sometimes it says when I turn it on, it says 0, and it should say 1 if I count. Either way, you know, we're pretty sure that it counts you yourself as a person who's watching, and then, what is that? Oh. Okay, it looks different over here. But yeah, I don't plan on, streaming as long as I usually do today until I'm done with that chapter. And then maybe we can come up with, you know, like, more stuff. And I do want to confess to everybody, I totally got screwed up earlier in the week. I don't know how it happened. I swear it was Saturday. And hold on, I could ask my husband something. Hey, you grabbed all your stuff, didn't you? Okay. Okay, the reason why I'm asking him if he grabbed all of his stuff is because the other day he didn't. He had to come home. So, he had to come home, grab his wallet, and then go out. Then go out and do the thing that he was supposed to be doing again. It was kind of funny because he forgot his wallet and I don't quite understand, but his supervisor forgot. You know, she brought her purse with her, but then but she left it in the car. So her husband had to get. Her husband had the car with him. So she didn't have her purse. So she couldn't do the, I guess they have two cars, but for some reason his wasn't there. Anyway, I think it was in the shop or something. Anyway, that's not that important. The important part is that she didn't have her purse. So, like I said, he had to come home and grab his wallet. I'm still wondering, how can you walk out of the house without your wallet, especially since he was driving? I mean, I've done it, but he's like, I've always got my tow cable. This is, he has one of those chains that holds his keys to his hip or whatever, I don't exactly understand the whole thing, but it's not important. Anyway, so we're at the part where Sean and Jesse are captured. I'm not going to give you all the details, but anyways, they're captured, and Ashley and Chantel have gone to rescue, but they end up getting captured too. And I had a problem yesterday. I was trying to use one voice, and it was supposed to be straight up French, not like French Belgium or anything like that. I ended up going with the French Belgium voice because she can say some of the words that the other voice couldn't say. I don't know where that came from. Oh my goodness. So, no, we gotta go down here. Okay, so I still need 14 trumpet snails. Need to feed the baby Pegasus. That's not the ones I was just feeding. That was a baby dragon. 4 more times. I need to reorder 3 stories, which I don't know how I'm supposed to do that, because if you reorder something, it doesn't count it. I've tried. Sell fish from the storybook Vale. $44 more. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I'm gonna cheat. I should know. You know what? It helps if you press the correct buttons instead of the wrong ones. 750 minus 622, 128. Okay. So 128. Need to feed the baby dragon 7 more times. Need 81 lightning spies, but then it's gonna give us a goal of 900. Need 29. That doesn't sound right. Yeah. Yeah, because if I had one less, then it would be 30. Okay, so 29. No. 229. Right? Yeah, 229. Vanilla. 14 opals. 116 Cape gooseberries. $161 porcini mushrooms. Oi. 56 pure ice. Hopefully that'll be it, but I don't know. $329 more sell gems from Storybook Vale. 50 more feed the owls. And 70 more mine star sapphires. Everything else we've done. Yeah, so I really only plan on being on here for maybe another 10 minutes. That'd be a nice short one for me. Still 45 minutes, but, you know, it'd be pretty short. So I've noticed that a whole bunch of people, when they stream, they like, you know, they go make the stream, and then they go back and edit. I mean, you know, like they go and do the gameplay, and then they go back and talk about it later. But you're actually getting my, you know, my gameplay and my talking all in real time. Hey, that was another opal. How many opals do we need? Oh, okay. So we needed 14. Now we need 13. I know, that seems so petty to count out like that. But opals are really hard to find. You can only find them here in the bind. And they don't come up that often. So, while I'm doing, some of this, little stuff, please go on Amazon and check out my books. I've got 6 of them right now, and as soon as I can audio the next one, I can publish it too. I don't know if I want to specifically, though, because nobody seems to be buying them. I mean, my idea is to, like, flood the market, so, like, there's nothing but my books. No, not exactly that way, but, flood the market, so then, like, somebody might start reading, like, somebody might start reading The Island, and then they're going to be like, because it sounded really cool, Sean and Jesse doing a knife show, a knife juggling show, and then they get captured, but you're not sure how, because, like, the last thing I told you was that, Sean is hanging by a tree, but hanging from a rope, attached to a tree, and, I didn't tell you anything else. So, anyway, yeah, he's gonna, him and Jesse are gonna get captured. Would that be he and Jesse are going to get captured? I'm one of those people that, may not talk good English when I'm speaking, but, I can write it when I try. Kind of like Ponyboy. That's exactly what he said. He said, I don't speak good English, but I can write it if I try, It's almost like I become a whole different person, and, I can totally write, I can totally write it the way I need to. Sometimes I don't entirely understand what I want to say. Like yesterday, I changed something to, like, I finally came up with exactly what I wanted to say. It sounded like an incomplete sentence the way that I had written it. And I'm like, okay, we can't have an incomplete sentence. How do I rewrite that so it makes sense? Or, not so it makes sense, but so it's complete. And I figured it out. It was something about Jesse wanted to pay Chantel a compliment and I think tell her that he loves her, but at that point in time he figured Chantel wasn't gonna believe him. And that's because of the situation. Which I can't explain entirely because it goes into the over 18 level at just one little tiny part. Well, okay, so they're captured and somebody did something with Jesse. And Chantel's angry about it. We'll just put it that way. It's really hard not to give away the whole entire thing and still explain what's going on. you know. You know, like, I want to go and tell, like, all about this story, but on the other hand, I want you to read it. You know, I want people to buy it and read it for themselves. Yeah, and I found out yesterday that I'm actually getting $6 if somebody buys Hard Times. And I was pretty happy about that. I know, it doesn't sound like a very good deal, only getting $6 a book, but think of it this way. If a million people bought that one book, how much money would I have? I would have $6 million. And I could do a ton of stuff with that. Of course, I would be in a totally different tax bracket and not know what to do, but it'd be nice. I'm sure we would not have to worry about buying food anymore. You know, we would be able to buy it. That's why we wouldn't have to worry anymore. And if we wanted to, we could go to Disneyland and get my husband that lightsaber. But, you know, most of all, I'd be able to put some of it toward cancer research and some of it toward trying to end world hunger. I really don't think I could do anything about, you know, some of the other problems in the world, but like, I want to end cancer. I want to end world hunger. If that's even still a threat anymore, you know, we should end COVID. But the thing is that, you know, like, when you go and end one disease, God comes up with another one. Or at least it seems like it. Like, there was AIDS or something, and then they came... It was either there was AIDS and something was before it or after it. I don't remember which. And then, you know, the other one came up. So I don't... Okay, y'all seeing this? That is hovering. And that is hovering. They're not on the ground. They were hovering. Anyway, I would like to, you know, get rid of all that kind of stuff. Well, help get rid of all that kind of stuff. I'm not a scientist. I can't get rid of it, unfortunately. But, you know, if people would start buying my books, then I could actually, you know, help out with that kind of stuff. I would go and make sure that I'm, you know, donating to the real deal and not, you know, some fake out there, but... I don't know how yet, but I would definitely do it. And I don't necessarily agree, you know, something about the children's hospital, don't remember which one. But the one that says, no child should ever die of cancer. Okay, I totally agree with that. But it's not just no child should ever die of cancer. No person should ever die of cancer. And why aren't we doing more research to make it eradicated instead of, it gone completely? Instead of it, we've got enough power to get this strain of it gone. It's like we've just gotten this little piece of it gone. And like our bodies are supposed to be like so adaptive, so fixable. And they can't get rid of cancer? How's that work? Anyway. So my books are Pirate's Daughter, where, okay, so it explains how we got the captain to the ship. How she became the captain of the ship. And you may be thinking, that's not very important, but it is. It's just, it explains how we get the captain to the ship. Because there's a bunch of obstacles in her way. First of all, she's a girl. She's female. So, not a whole lot of enemy pirates or, guy pirates in general are going to want her being a captain. They're probably going to be thinking that's beneath them to fight her because she's a girl, I mean, she's female, Okay, so what do we eat? Okay. So, if you eat these 3 meals during the spring event, then you can get an achievement, and I'll show you where that is as soon as I'm done eating enough of these to... Okay. So now you know how much food that doesn't give you. What was it, this one? Yeah, okay. So that's not very much food, but this, if I remember correctly, is a game changer. That's a good food. Anyway, so Morgan, Hayden, and Jake hold on. That's the phone again. Hello?
Yeah, hi, good morning. My name is Sam. How are you doing today so far?
Good.
God bless you, ma'am. Well, ma'am, this short call is about new low-cost final expense program that covers your funeral and burial expenses.
That's funny because you're calling from Chevron in Texas. That's what the phone said. It did not say final expenses. It did not say funeral expenses, any of that. It said Chevron from Texas. I'm convinced that there's another...
What a bonny bright day!
But there's not. Okay. Anyway, so that, Morgan, Hayden, and Jake all grew up together on the pirate ship. Until Hayden was 5. There was a storm. and he always comforts Morgan through the storm. But they fell asleep on her bed, and Katie, the captain, Morgan's mother, got super angry, because I don't want to say the other word, got super angry, and you know, pretty much wanted to kill herself a cabin boy. She's a little irrational sometimes. Okay, claim all 30. Now we can go feed those poor Pegasus that we couldn't feed earlier. Well, I guess we're staying on a little longer. I did want to go and try to get all the eggs. You know, just keep up that, you know, keep up the idea that I kind of care. You know, just because it's, you know, the Easter event, and even though I don't need to do it, you know, it's kind of fun. I like, you know, I liked doing the Easter egg hunt when I was a kid. Although the first time, okay, so my parents got divorced, and the first time that I did an Easter egg hunt, with my, well, she was my dad's girlfriend at the time, but anyway, the mom I have now. The first time that we did an Easter egg hunt with her and the, you know, my sister and my brother. Oh, shoot. Okay. I'm confused. Anyway, the first time that we did that, I got like 17 Easter eggs or 14, something like that. Anyway, it was a large number. It's kind of funny though, because I think it was either that year or the one after it where my grandpa's telling this story. He's the one that just passed away in December. So I got no more grandpas. You know, I was really freaking out the first time, but anyway, he was telling his story, and he's like pointing off in a certain direction, and then my brother found an Easter egg in the direction that Grandpa was pointing. So we still don't know if Grandpa was going, look over there, or if he was, you know, actually telling the story. And, you know, he said that he was, you know, just telling the story, and that's where he happened to point, you know. Which, you know, brings me to when you're missing somebody, just think of a time that makes you happy about them. Or if you can, even better, put in a video where they're still alive. And I'm sure you'll smile because, you know, you'll remember all the happy memories. I'm missing a baby Pegasus. Oh, there. I think this is Peaches. And Peaches likes to do this. I mean, I think they're all supposed to do that, but it's kind of annoying. Okay, because of the lighting, I can't really tell if that's Peaches or if that's Pinky. And it's not Pinky from Pinky in the Brain, it's Pinky from Pac-Man that she got named after. Oh, great. Okay, fine. Well, I don't need these. Okay, so, let's drop that for a minute. Oh, I can't do that. Dang it. Never mind. Okay, I was trying to move the meals to the correct spot, and I can't do it because it won't let me. Anyway, so they all grew up together until, you know, Hayden was 5. Then his family moved off the pirate ship because they didn't want Hayden to die just because he was doing his job. You know, it was Hayden's job to comfort Morgan through a storm, and so, you know, like I said, Katie got super angry, and, you know, because a boy was sleeping on the same bed as her daughter, but that's not the way she says it. Okay, so I am a little weirded out because I don't see any Cape Gooseberries. I think we saw 2. Okay. So, yeah, I think we saw 2. Out of the whole thing. Anyway, so years later, they're all grown up now. And they need to, I don't know why. I just, you know, I was trying to come up with an excuse so it could be sold to Morgan later. But, they're selling Morgan's grandfather's house. You know, the house that her father Daniel grew up in. So they all meet in France, and while they're going over from Scotland to the ferry, and I had to go and figure that out because it made no sense for Morgan to be on that same ferry, but she had to be. So had like the airplane break down, and they ended up in Scotland somehow. Oh, so I can sell those opals? I don't want to sell those opals. They're very precious, you know. But I can sell them, and get part of that done. It'll make sense in a moment. There. See, now I have squirrels, sunbirds, ravens, rabbits, crocodiles, turtles, raccoons, foxes, monkeys, cobras, capybaras, owls, Pegasus, and baby dragons. Now, I'm going to have a big problem if, they add more animals, because then I'm going to have to bring more stuff, but I'll work it out. I'll figure it out. Darn it. So I am sorry I am eating carrots in everybody's ear, but I am hungry and I didn't wake up in enough time to... I woke up in enough time. I really did. But I was doing another project. Like I said, I'm super busy today. But I was doing a project and I could not okay. So, I didn't get done with it in time to, really stop and eat breakfast before. But I got the project done, so. It's not fully done, it's just, part 1, but... Anyway, so years later, Morgan and Hayden meet on the ferry going to France. They don't know that they don't know for sure. They kind of have a feeling, but they don't know for sure that it's the person they remember. They just know that, they're attracted to them at that point. But anyway, they do find out, and then a while later, a few years later, we'll find out if these count as fish. Wait a minute. Okay, if we have hippocampi in here. Wait, what goes between eels and fugu? Flying fish. Oh no, I still have hippocampi. That must be seafood. Oh, but lamprey is. One of those is seafood, one of those is a fish. I don't remember which one. Wait, do I even need those? Selling fish? Yeah, sell fish. So that's the thing. I don't sell fish because I know how valuable it is.
We're like one big clan here, aren't we?
Hi there, pal. Ooh.
Okay, so we're up to 230. We just need 40 more fish. We need to try to mine those opals again. Really what we need to do is put this away, do my project, and then, come back to it. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of stuff. Well, most of 4. And then we're at 326 for cell gems. So I'm going to, so anyway, they make friends on that trip. Because they haven't seen each other for years. They're both pretending that they don't know it's the person from when they were younger. They're going, it could not be you, and maybe it just looks like you, and maybe you've changed, and stuff like that. But, they know that they like each other. They've liked each other since they were kids. Well, then, when the guys are in college, they go and visit Morgan for Christmas. But shortly after that, she just stops emailing. We have no idea they have no idea what happened. But what did happen is that on that trip when they went to go visit, a pirate captain took a fancy to her. He decided he liked her. The way at least the way she looks. And he wants to take her to his ship. Which, after they left, he did. So, he, took her on the ship, with all the stuff. And, with all her stuff. She didn't have very much. And Hayden doesn't know what happened to her. then a few more years later, like 3 years later, he walks into this business in France and finds out that an Irish girl happens to work there. They get to talking, and eventually he finds out, after several times of going to talk to her, he finds out that that's his Morgan, and so, when she says, "Hey, we're having a party tonight," it's like an office party, but, like the whole town can go to the party. Anyway, it's like an office party and the whole town can go. So she invited him, to be her date, basically. And he has a great time at the party. At first he was like really super nervous, so he drank a lot of whiskey, I think it was. I don't remember what I made him drink. I don't drink myself, but my husband said it was a parody thing to do. So I'm like, okay. I wasn't gonna have them drink or smoke. None of my characters smoke. None of my characters I'm gonna keep around all the time. One of my bad guys did. I've just seen too much of what drinking and smoking can do to you. It's not okay. My grandma actually got told, it's the cigarettes or your grandkids. You don't get both. You either keep the cigarettes or you keep the grandkids. Or you get to see the grandkids. And Grandma quit smoking for us, so. So I feel loved. Anyway, so, after that party, he's walking home. He goes toward the corner, and you try putting this scenario into AI, since I said it pretty much very vaguely. Okay, the idea is that the business that Morgan works at is right across the street from a small beach and the ocean. Down the street from her business and across the street is the dock where you would park boats. Park ships. And then, sorry, I've got fur all over me. I got 3 cats, and, fur's kind of a duh. Fur's gonna happen. That just made me think of a really cool t-shirt idea. Take a picture of my cat. I've got tons of pictures of my cats, but, have a picture of my cat on the t-shirt, and either above or below that says fur happens. It'd be kind of funny. Anyway, so there's buildings on his right, and there's the road, the sidewalk. He's on the sidewalk, so the road, the other sidewalk, and the beach, and then the ocean on the left. So he's walking toward the corner, which there's the building that Morgan works in, and then 2 others. And he gets to the corner, and it's nice, bright, lit up. The street lamp, the street light works. Across the street light does not work. And I keep writing it into the AI really badly. I wanted to put in that scene for my book cover. And I'm hoping it's not true that AI just steals from people, because that would be wrong. It would be wrong to use it if that's what's gonna happen. But anyway, so he looks across the street, because as soon as he turns right, his apartment's gonna be on the left-hand side of the street, up the street, but on the left. So he was gonna step out and cross the street, but then he sees the limo, and he's like, I don't think I want to go that way, especially since it's dark over there. You don't know. There could be bad guys in there. There could be good guys. We don't know. So he goes and just turns right, and he's like, I'll go down to the corner and work it out from there. Well, he starts going down toward the corner, and he sees that there's some people coming. And, he kind of turns back, because most people would turn back and look at that limo and see what's going on there. Especially since it was parked blocking the crosswalk, so he couldn't cross. He would have had to go, into the street and around if he did go that way. So he kind of looks back, and he sees there's some people coming out. And he takes a few more, he's continuing walking, but he kind of looks back again, and he's like, oh, they got guns. So he starts running. Well, he only gets halfway to the other corner before they tackle him and, have him on the ground. He's faced toward the street. The limo turns around. I kind of get the idea that it's a stretch, it's like a stretch limo, but I don't know. Anyway, it's one of the longer limos, at least. Anyway, it turns around and comes and picks up everybody, and he's about to yell help, but he only gets hell out, and they knocked him out by slamming a gun into his face. So, you have to read the book to find out if, how Morgan got off the ship, and how Hayden is going to escape, if he's going to escape. So anyway, that is book 1 and book 2. I mean, there's more to book 1, but that's the only part that I can ever remember, so. Besides that, she works in a bar when they come, and she works in her uncle's bar when when they go to visit her when they're in college. So, so then there's that's how, well, I never did explain how Hayden gets there, but, Morgan is the captain, and Morgan likes Hayden, so you kind of figure that if he does survive, they're going to be together on the ship. But anyway, Hard Times introduces William. So that's Pirate's Daughter in Misfortune. Hard Times introduces William, and we've been on this screen too long. Oh, we needed to... Or did we... Yeah, we fed the baby Pegasus. Never mind. Here, let's do some egg hunting, and I can explain more. So, Hard Times explains that, William is the governor of New York's son, but in this case, and I hope it's not like that in real life, the governor of New York is like a puppet for the mafia. And they're running the governor of New York. So, I don't like go into, real big details or anything, but But yeah, they're running the governor of New York. So when his wife dies, he just kind of his wife got cancer and she passed away. So he just kind of went a little crazy and, like, you know, telling William that things are going to change around here. And you know, at one point he lived in the basement. Another time he lived in his bedroom, but it's always locked from the outside. He can't get out unless they let him out. So he runs away. Well, he runs away to his friend's house, who rats him out. And, you know, of course, the governor and William's nanny. William's nanny's a mafia minion. You know, they're acting all nice when they're at their friend's house. But, you know, on the way home, you know, like, Sam's smacking him around a little bit. Or, you know, grabbing him in a too firm grip. And it was like, you know, it's like his bestest best friend that he went to, so he thought, you know, it was a nice place to, you know, hang out for until he could figure out what to do next. Well, obviously it didn't work that way. So eventually he runs away to France and works with Morgan. And he meets his girlfriend, Kat. Okay, there are no eggs in this realm, as far as I can see. Anyway, so then, you know, years later, there's... Okay, I guess that's just a rock. Years later, they've... You know, years later, there's 40 original crew members. You know, Morgan and her crew, and they've had kids. So there's a lot more people. And Morgan's oldest daughter is Ashley, and her second oldest daughter is Chantel. And then William's two oldest boys, they're twins, are Sean and Jesse. Oh gosh, I've got that stuck in my head. That's Sean and Ashley. Anyway, Sean and Jesse. And then Ashley and Chantel are Sean and Jesse's best friends. You know, Sean is Ashley's best friend, and Chantel is Jesse's best friend. And I could have sworn I seen an egg back here. Apparently not, but I thought I did. Well, I see no eggs in there. So anyway, the girls devise a plan to get the guys to notice them, because the girls have been there, you know, their whole lives, so they don't see them as girls. They just know that they're best friends that don't go in the same bathroom as them. So, and that was the best way I could explain that. But anyway, so they devise this plan, and they're gonna go to Esperanza's birthday party on Esperanza's Island. And, you know, Ashley and Chantel decide that's the spot to show the guys that they really, really do like them like that and would like to start dating. I could have sworn that there was another area over here at one point. That's okay. So they dress up just so, and you know, Ashley's in black and Chantel's in blue, and they're determined to get the boys' attention. Well, eventually they do. I say eventually because at first the boys are dancing with Esperanza's twin girls, who are about the same age as Ashley. Ashley is 14. She's going to be 15 in November. And so that got confusing really fast because Chantel's supposed to be 2 years younger than her sister. But I think we finally got it figured out. Anyway, so they finally get the boys' attention, and and they go out to the woods and kiss, and you know, it's a good story. There's more to it than that, because the girl's dad, Hayden, does not want pirates dating his daughters, because he figures that, you know, if they're married to pirates, then they're gonna get the girls pregnant, and, you know, after marrying them, of course, but get the girls pregnant, and then they're gonna have to help raise the babies, because, you know, the pirate's gonna mouth off to the bad guys and, you know, say something stupid to the bad guys, and hold on. That's better. Okay, so I'm wearing tighter pants than I normally do, and they were just smushing the wrong spot. I'm not exactly skinny. I'm like one of those people that you can kind of see that I was skinny at one point in my life, but I'm not now. Anyway, my pants were, you know, like squishing my stomach, and my stomach was like I don't like this, I don't like this, and yeah. Anyway, so they get the boy's attention. Then there's the big problem of Elena is still mad that Sean got taken away from her. And tells her mom, well, let's look in the library then. Anyway, it tells her mom, and Esperanza decides to do something about it. So she calls a meeting between her and Morgan, and she's got, well, through the help of her 3 brothers who are usually drunk, she it's all the places. Through the help of her 3 brothers who are usually drunk, she got Hayden and William tied to a post that is holding up her, the part of the porch that, the pole part of the porch that holds up the roof piece for the porch, so you don't get wet when it's raining. I don't know what to call that, and I'm not even gonna pretend to try. Anyway, they've got them tied to that, and it's sturdy enough that they cannot get away on their own. And they're gagged. That's a rock. Okay. And they're gagged, so they can't talk. But they do know how to work that gag down so they can talk, and that's what happens. But I think at that point, Kat had helped them. Yeah, I was just listening to that yesterday. Actually, it might have been yesterday. Can't remember. But like I said, that's why I wrote it down, so I didn't have to remember. Anyway, so they take Sean, and I'll let you read the rest of the story to find out what happens. But the one that I'm working on right now, is The Island, which is the next book. And they've gone to New York, do some indoor ice skating and maybe watching movies at the theater, shopping, whatever you do in New York, because I don't know what to do in New York unless it's like go to Broadway or New York City specifically. Unless it's go to Broadway or the top of the Empire State Building. I would never do that. That's way too high for me. I mean, I was freaking out when it was 14 floors. Okay, so I signed up to be a maid at the Horizon Hotel in South Lake Tahoe, and found out I can't do it. I'm just not fast enough. So we tried it for a month. And ended up back at McDonald's. But then I ended up moving back to Fairfield, California, so yeah. See, his is open right here. Oh! Okay. I did not know that. Awesome. So if I had not gotten curious why Sarah could do it and I couldn't, I wouldn't know that. Awesome. You know, because I didn't think it was very fair. He can do it and I can't. But, yeah. It ends up that it wasn't a he can do it and I can't. It was a I hadn't figured out how. So I found one whole egg in this whole entire biome. One time. And it was like right over here. Okay, so no, I think I found one, you know, like over here or something, you know, near a stall. But I haven't found one since. I think that's really weird. Wait, something just said interact with it. Oh, okay. Anyway, I've been trying to catch up on my YouTube videos the last few days. Oh my goodness. It's really hard though because I'm trying to work on my book at the same time, and you got to be able to concentrate a little bit more than reading a book. I mean, listening to a video and trying to fix the book at the same time. Doesn't always work. Nope, that's not the spot I was thinking of. Well, there could be another egg in here, and I would never know. Not trying to pick on the developers, but this realm is too hard, and for some reason it never has eggs in it. Okay, so for this one, and this is the one with the knife juggling. They're going. I did not press A. Thank you. So they're, you know, putting on the knife juggling show to impress the girls, Ashley and Chantel, and all of a sudden the ship stops. And they don't know why, and they eventually look down and find out, oh, there's a sandbar. You don't want to get stuck in a sandbar when you're, you know, out in the middle of the ocean. But also, you don't want to get stuck in a sandbar. Get off the footrest. You also don't want to get stuck in a sandbar when... So not what I meant. Anyway, you also don't want to get stuck on a sandbar when you're near a mysterious island that you have no knowledge of. But instead of helping out, Sean and Jesse want to go and explore that island. You know, they're very curious. They want to go figure it all out.
I love
Nothing like the rain to wash away the wind.
So they get permission and they go exploring, and there's these really big wide trees, like oaks, but the size of the ones in the redwood forest where you can like literally drive through a tree. I don't know exactly where that is, but you can literally drive through the tree. It's really cool. I've never seen it in real life. I've only seen it in pictures, but it does sound neat. If we ever had the ability to, like, get a motorhome, you know, probably one of those big ones, I'd probably have to send my husband to truck driving school or something to, you know, get it. But if we ever had the ability to get one of those and just, like, travel around, that would be one of the places that we'd go. I think that would be cool, because we could go and, you know, we'd have the freedom, you know, we wouldn't have to have we wouldn't have to stop and look for a bathroom, because it would be right there. And the only problem with the idea is that I keep saying I want 2 different bathrooms. And I don't mean like with the motorhome, you usually have your shower and your porta potty in, you know, because it's like a porta potty kind of bathroom. But like, I think it gets like collected underneath, like in a cubby thing. So then you have to go and get it. You know, you have to get dumped like once a month or something like that. I would definitely get it dumped like once a month or whatever. You know, whatever makes the most sense. But anyway, I keep saying that with like 2 different potties because, you know, what if you have to go at the same time? And that has happened before. It doesn't happen very often, but happens often enough. I'm sure we could work something out, you know, get it custom made or something. Ooh, egg. So there was, what, 1 egg here? Or no eggs? One of those 2. Here,
Oh
and then...
no! I'm late for my chores. Wait,
This
Do
rain
I
is not
have
good for my
chores here?
plain bread.
I don't think so. Anyway, so they're walking through the forest. Because, you know what? It helps that if you give all the details first. So, it's a very forested island. It's got a ton of trees. And the inhabitants call it the island of many trees. So, they're walking through the forest, and like I said, there's all these really big trees. And for like the first 5 or 6 trees, Jesse has jumped out and Jesse has pretended to not make it out on the other side, And when Sean goes back to check on him, he jumps out and goes, "Boo!" And so, Sean gets scared and, the jump scared, kind of scared. And he yells at him and tells him to stop. Well, the 5th or 6th time that happens, I think it's the 6th time, because he said, "You've done that to me the last 5 trees." Anyway, Sean gets mad and says, "Hey, you said stick together, stick together, fight together, and then you're not even sticking with me." And Jesse's like, "I made the rule, I can break the rule." But then it happens again, and Jesse doesn't come out on the other side, just like always. So Sean doubles back and starts saying, "Come on, Jesse, you just said you wanted to go back and ask Chantel a question." And, he's upset, but still no Jesse. And then he takes that one more step, and that's when he gets hoisted into the air by his ankle. And all of his hopes of being able to rescue himself fall on the ground, because, his backpack falls, his sword falls, everything. And then what happens after that? You'll have to buy the book and read it to find out. Well, I said that he gets captured by someone or something. And I said that Ashley and Chantal get captured too. But I have to buy the book to get, buy and read the book to get the details. I would really like that, if like 1 million people bought one of my books, that'd be really, really cool. And then there's Adopted Coral, which I still haven't made that video. I'm gonna make a video. I just need to get less busy. Or more determined to do the video. So, it's a little dark because... Sorry. I haven't eaten my granola bar yet, and my cat was sniffing it. Or, he wasn't sniffing it like, like it's right there and he's gonna eat it. It's just sniffing it. Or, sniffing toward it. Okay. Oh! Another egg!
These fools have no idea what magic could be controlled here.
Anyway, I let the boys sniff my food because one time... Not eat it, but just sniff it. I told them just sniffies. And that's because one time Ben sniffed my milk and he's like, like he let out this big ol' howl or something like that. And I like kind of smelled it and I'm like, oh. Because I was about to have cereal. And after that, I figured out the milk was bad. And yeah, so I've let them sniff my food but not eat it ever since. In our house, kitties get kitty food, and we get we get our food, of course. Is anybody else still getting clovers? I don't know if I just didn't notice them, and picking them up now, and they're not going to spawn in again. Oh, that is somebody.
Gotta say, there's some nice folks around here.
Basically, I was wondering why the sea grape was standing there. Or is that the, anyway, the red one. I was wondering why it was, standing there. Because that didn't make any sense. And then I'm like, oh, it's Mushu! Anyway, so then there's a book about my cat Coral, and I didn't really have a story there. The one that has a story is Sam. And I really want to come up with, like, a AI dog, or oh, I was wondering what that was. An AI dog, or or like an animated dog for that, for that page, because not all dogs are like that. There's like a million dogs out there that love kitty cats. They'll cuddle up with them, they'll protect them from other animals. There's a ton of them. But this particular one did not like kitty cats, and he decided to chase the kitty and got himself into big trouble.
People look alive, rise and shine.
Got himself into more than just big trouble, I think. So, we lived in an apartment across town from where we're at now. Well, we're kind of in the middle, so, but it's still, like, across town. And this one dog kept getting out, and he wasn't, apparently he was a really big dog, and he wasn't very nice. Because I think he ended up having to go live with the doggy doctor, if you know what I mean. But it wasn't really his fault. He was just, like, I know for a fact that they don't just come that way. They, get trained to be like that when they're puppies. So, or, allowed to do whatever the heck they want, so then they end up that way. Kind of thing. But I think he ended up biting somebody, not just chasing the kitty, so I can't remember exactly what happened because it was a while, it was a long time ago. Like, Sam is gonna be 10 in May. So yeah, that was about 10 years ago. So long. Oh my goodness. But anyway, so for Sam's story though, Sam's part of the story. The dog got out and he decided to chase the kitty. Well, we'd been feeding Sam for about 6 months, I think. And we couldn't really tell because there was another cat. I called her the queen because she liked to stand up on things and she kind of looked like she was trying to be very regal and you bow down to me and. So I don't know what her name really was, but I called her the queen. But anyway, so Sam got chased and he came to our house. And the cool thing is that my husband opened the door just in time to let the cat in and let Sam in and slammed the door on the dog. I don't see where Sylvester went. Sylvester, I don't see you. Anyway, so he's gonna have a very interesting story. We got to capture and release him. Get a free neuter and him up to date on his shots and everything. But they knew that he wasn't going to allow himself to be released. So we've had him ever since, and he's got the most interesting story. Ben, he was just causing allergic reactions with his fur, so that's how we got him. She's like,
that's right. The ocean's a friend of mine.
She's like, if somebody doesn't take him, he's gonna have to go to the pound. And I'm like, that's not happening. Because when Coral, Coral we got from the Nevada Humane Society in Reno, and I don't know if they're being mean to cats or if kittens just don't understand what's going on when people are trying to help them, but she came back terrified of humans. And I'm like, I don't want that to happen to another cat. So we adopted him. We've had him ever since. So we really, 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 really need to plant these. Most of that goes in the other room. Yeah. Well, I don't know about snowballs. I think the snowballs go in there. So, my cat's... well, I mean, I woke up at... That's not working. Okay, finally found the right button. My cats were... you know, I got up at 5 to go to the bathroom, and my cats decided that they were going to wreak havoc and be brats when I got back. So I haven't been back to sleep since. And I just discovered I'm tired. So I gotta get off of here. Bless you. So we got our cat checked out, Ben, and you know, like, when he sneezes, it's not good. So, you know, he's, okay, I hate to say it, but he's got projectile snot sometimes. And the doctor didn't think that was any better than I thought it was. So, you know, like, he got, you know, he got seen by the doctor, and she gave him a shot that's supposed to last 2 weeks. And it's not bugging me as much anymore because he's not sneezing on Mama. But still, he's been sneezing a little bit. Like, he wasn't sneezing for the longest time, and then he was sneezing for a little bit. I mean, you know, he like just started the other day sneezing again. And I'm not sure what to do. You know, because I think it's a nice normal sneeze, but you never know. So, anyway, okay, so please check out. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Oh my goodness. So please check out my books on Amazon. They're Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, Hard Times, Esperanza's Party, The Island, and Adopted Coral. I really plan to make a book today. I mean, a video today of that book. But I don't know if I'm going to. You'll know when it comes out because you'll see it on your notifications. So you just type in Tina Rash Books, TinaRashBooks, and you should find all 6 of them, I hope. If not, you'll at least find 5 of them. And then, you know, on the next stream, just let me know which one you can't find, and I'll help you figure out how. if I can. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell if you are watching me on YouTube right now. If you are watching me on Twitch right now. Okay. Dang, that whole thing is her name. It says Giant Reimbursement XOY7. Says cheap viewers over here. Yeah, we don't buy or sell viewers on this channel at all whatsoever, and I will be, leaving them a warning. Sometimes it actually is a real actual person. No matter what anybody tells you, sometimes it is actually a real person. But most of the time it has been, cannot fetch account, or whatever it says. So, you know, words to the effect of cannot fetch account. So then when it says that, you know it's not a real account. Now, if it lets you send the warning and doesn't say that, then you know that you got a real person and you're really actually warning them. Because we have a member in our group of friends that he just bans everybody. And it's like, well, if you ban everybody that tries to sell you viewers, you're not going to have any. You know? So anyway, just, you know, try to be kind about it, and, you know, it's not okay to buy or sell viewers. Ever. I figure it's a new, a new internet version, cyber, whatever, of selling people. You know, human trafficking. It's not okay. I mean, you're not selling the actual person, I guess, but you are selling them all at the same time. So, anyway, just be nice about it. Please. And I hope you're having a good day. Know that you are enough. I'm sorry, this ended up being 2 hours and 20 minutes and counting. Anyway, know that you are enough. You are important. You do matter. There's nothing you cannot solve or handle. Even work in school. And that manager who thinks that they're better than you and got fired a year and a half later. Finally. That's a rumor anyway. You know, I've seen a lot of people. Okay, so I'm specifically thinking of the W store that I worked at. I've seen a lot of people, you know, doing their cashiering thing, you know, working whatever job they've got in the store. And there's like that one manager that thinks they own the whole store and can boss everybody around. And they get bossed by them. But then all of a sudden that manager's gone. Because they either got themselves in trouble or they got transferred or something. And then all of a sudden, you know, you've got this new manager, but maybe they're nicer than the old manager. You know? You never know. I mean, we had like a whole bunch of team leads in that store. Although one of them is still employed, or was still employed until recently. I think the thing is she's still employed. I have no idea why. If somebody needs change, she ignores them. If somebody needs help because they pressed the wrong button on the cash register, she ignores them. If there's go backs to need to go back on the shelf, and there's a cashier to do it, she'll send them, but she'll tell them that it's all on the left side of the store, and there's gonna be stuff that's on the left side of the store, on the right side of the store, in the back of the store, in the front, up at the registers, everywhere. She doesn't know the store at all. And I knew the store, and I was getting the stuff put away as best as possible, but when you have stuff that's all over the store, how's that going to work? Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why I got in trouble, is because I wasn't getting it done fast enough. It's like, well, how's that supposed to work? Anyway. Anyway, the point is that you can do it. And yeah, I'm still upset about the politics of that store. There's actually well, if it's still in business, I don't know if it is. There was a business called Express Personnel Services, and they had a contract with Clorox, because there's I guess you call it a plant in Fairfield, California, and they would send us there every once in a while because the machine broke down and they couldn't get the boxes, they couldn't get the boxes put together without that machine, so they needed people to do it. But then there was this guy that kept getting angry because there was temporary workers around, and it's like, we're doing more stuff than you are, because he was just sitting on his butt yelling at people, literally. Because they had somebody on quality control for the bottles that were going through the other part of the machine, and they had a temporary worker. And they had us, putting together the boxes, and it was ridiculous. But Express Personnel Services did not stick up for us. And I really don't like that. And I don't like being called a liar either. 'Cause I didn't yell at anybody. But I'm handling it. I'm still pissing off about it, but I'm handling it. And you will too. What I recommend is do not get angry at people. Because if you get angry at the person that is making you mad, then you're just going to get fired and you're not going to have a job anymore. But they're still going to have their job. So what you do to combat that is you play something like GTA, get it out of your system, and then go back into work and just do the best job you can. And eventually they will disappear. It's going to take a while, but eventually they will disappear. Because, companies like that think that if they rotate the managers, then, the workers won't get too comfortable or something like that. And they'll have, they'll think that they have to be on their toes all the time and be really good workers. But that's not how it works. You don't scare your people into submission. You make them happy, by making sure that they get out on their breaks and lunches on time, and sticking up for them when they've been wronged and stuff. It's not the way the world works, but that's the way the world should work. Anyway, I've just discovered I need water. I need to go, like I said, I need to, take these pants off and put something else on because they're too tight. And I need to eat more breakfast. So, I'm going to end the stream here. Yeah, I said everything I need to say. So, I will see you in the next stream or video. Oh, except for okay, wait a minute. One more thing, sorry. I actually got really confused the other day. I started to tell that at the beginning of this video. On Saturday, I knew it was Saturday, so I did Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. But then, I don't know what the heck happened on Sunday. I didn't do Disneyland Adventures, and I don't know why. Or maybe I did, and I don't think I did, though. But I didn't do Disneyland Adventures. I did Minecraft, because it was Monday. Which was weird, because it wasn't. And then on Tuesday, I'm like, what the heck happened to... Or, on Monday, I was like, what the heck happened to Sunday? Because it never happened. And then, you know, I just feel like I was in a parallel universe, and you know, there aren't Sundays. Something like that. But, you know, so that offset me. So then yesterday, I'm like, okay, I know what day it is. It's Tuesday, and I'm going to do Roblox. But, yeah, I don't remember Sunday happening, but I know it did because he was home. I don't know. Anyway, I will see you. Oh, and, one more thing. One tiny thing. Oops, wrong. Streaming friendly mode is on. Replaces copyrighted music from the game. And now I will see you in the next stream or video.